Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Pop Chat pre-show or the Pop Chat pre-game, as many of you started calling it. My name is Brianne Fleming. I am the host of Pop Chat. If you're unfamiliar with what Pop Chat is, it is a weekly discussion on Twitter, although we're live streaming right now, but it typically takes place on Twitter, and it is a series of questions discussing the week's pop culture trends, and we talk about marketing takeaways that we can learn from those trending topics and all the things happening in music, sports, TV, and all those fun things that we love. So, we are here 30 minutes before Pop Chat officially starts because we're doing a little pre show. So, we're going to chat about some of those trending topics to come. I hope you will dive into Twitter to answer some of those questions. But while you're here on the live stream, of course, feel free to chime in the chat, say hello. Yay, Shardle's here. So, yes, hashtag pop chat. We are all about it today. And yeah, we're going to be diving into this week's trending topics for the next half hour. And then I'll see you over on Twitter. So, first, we have to start with my girl, Britney Spears. As you probably know, hey, Petronella. As you probably know, she released her memoir called The Woman in Me. What you may not know, unless you're a pretty big Britney fan, is that The Woman in Me, the title comes from her song I'm Not a Girl, Not Yet a Woman. And there's a little excerpt of a lyric there. And I thought I would share this picture from that music video from I'm Not a Girl, Not Yet a Woman, which was filmed in Antelope Canyon in Arizona. It is on my bucket list to go there, mainly because it was graced with Britney's presence, but it's a cool little destination to check out. So let's talk more about our girl Britney. Oh gosh. So even if you haven't read the book, there are a lot of bombshells coming out about Justin Timberlake. Where do I even begin? Just to sum things up, she is really just speaking her mind, speaking the truth, and it's not reflecting on him very well. Oh, Shardle. Yeah, Antelope and Sedona. Yeah, we were just talking about potentially going to Sedona before the end of the year. It seems like the right time of year. So, have you been to Antelope Canyon? I want to know. You should recreate the Britney video. Um, but yes, young love. We all know Britney and Justin were together, and Justin is really going through it with some of these bombshells and revelations that are coming out in her book. And woof, I've heard it's potentially straining his marriage. I mean, it's not looking good for him. And it's particularly disheartening because I know everyone was all amped and excited about an NSYNC reunion, and we've got new movies and things coming out, and he was potentially going to go on tour. It was this whole thing. So dealing with the backlash, it looks like Justin turned off his Instagram comments. So I'm curious, what do you think about this? Do you think this is the right move for him as far as his response? I think this in and of itself is a response or just a way to manage the backlash. That really is the world we live in today, where everyone has access to us, and when headlines come out, people can come straight for us and say really nasty things, and it can be a lot to handle. Petronella says one tip. I went. It's beautiful, but check the weather before. If it's raining, the trip gets canceled. Yeah, I always forget that it rains in the desert, so that's a that's a good call. Oh yes. Oh, you need to go back and recreate the Britney video now that you know. I would pay to see that. So, what do we think? Do we think this was a good move? We still have yet to determine if there's going to be a bigger response than this, or if things are just going to blow over. I'm very curious what his career is going to look like after this, or what his next move will be. But it's looking rough. So you might say, since Justin turned off all of those Instagram comments and people's ability, that he wanted to silence the trolls. He didn't want any trolls, I guess. So this makes me curious. Do you think this will affect the Trolls movie? Will it affect the Trolls movie? It is a premise about a boy band, actually. And of course, Justin voices one of the characters. He has been a voice of one of the characters in the previous Trolls movies. Um, but yeah, I wonder if this takes some of the air out of that out of that balloon for the Trolls movie. It comes out November 17th. And yeah, I don't know if they're still being loud and promoting it or whatnot. We shall see. I don't know if they're pivoting at all, but I will be watching this to see what happens. And thank you. What a segue. I thought of that the last minute. I was like, let me stick this in here. Okay, but speaking of segues, when I do these screen shares in StreamYard, I can't see what my next slide is. So I wish I had smoother transitions here, but let's see what we've got. Oh, yes. Okay, we've already talked about I know Shardle is excited. We're talking about 1989 Taylor's version. I haven't listened to the full album yet, nor have I checked out the the vault tracks. Oh boy, I don't think the trolls are in sync, but Justin is saying bye 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 regardless. Ouch. Yeah. I know. When I saw a TMZ article came out saying in sync, like the rest of the bandmates are supporting Justin during this time. And it was just very vague. Like I don't think the article had any like specific quotes from anyone. It was just like a blanket statement saying that they support him. But we'll see. So 1989 Taylor's version is out. Speaking of versions, there are so many versions of this album. I want to say I'll have to fact check this, but I know with this album, she not only has vinyls galore, but she also came out with CDs. Like CDs are back. I guess that's happening. So that's interesting. You know, what's old becomes new again. So we'll have to see if Gen Z or maybe millennials will get back to collecting CDs, but I'm in the stage where I don't want any physical clutter. So, yeah, please, Chartle, any commentary about about Taylor's version so far? I did listen to Welcome to New York and Blank Space, and oh my gosh, 4 CD versions. Tangerine is the best one. Is that just because of the color or the cover? Everything about it? Are there special bonus tracks? I think it's just like the cover art and the colors. But I did see Tangerine. Man, she is just making bank on all of these different versions. So my oh, I don't have a question for you yet, but I will. So I don't know if you've clicked on the hashtag 1989 Taylor's version yet on Twitter, but Taylor Swift's initials pop up and do this fun little animation. So there's a little fun fact Easter egg for you. You can go check that out. It's a nice little dopamine hit. And I thought I'd share just because it was too adorable not to that Elmo is excited about Taylor's version. And I thought this was a cute post. You know, apparently Elmo was born in 1980. He's an 80s baby as well. Do you think there is any job, any social media job more fun than working for one of the Sesame Street characters? Like if I did social for Cookie Monster, that would just be the best. I know Elmo is out there. I think Oscar the Grouch and the Count, they all have their own channels. Like that is a dream. Vault songs are great. The Tangerine one has the new Sweeter Than Fiction re-recording. You are quite the Swiftie there. I love that. I also saw on Twitter that there is a 1989 cardigan floating around that Taylor's seemingly sent to staff at radio stations, and I really want it. I know she had the 1989 hoodie, not a hoodie, but sweatshirt. But yeah, she's gonna do her merch thing. So my question for you, and we're going to dig into this more on Pop Chat, but does every era require a new promotional strategy or is it a formula? Do you think she's got it down pat? It's like down to a science now, or do you think the team approaches every era, every re-recording with a unique set of ideas, a unique approach? Curious your thoughts. And Petronella, let's see. Going back, sorry, I think I'm on a delay with your comments here. So going back to Justin, for sure, he and his team are generating an excellent PR answer soon. But I think since he used their relationship in his music before, Crimea River, he should acknowledge in it and say at least, this is her experience and I respect that, but I have no comments. NSYNC reunion, sure, we'll see some consequences. Yeah, I hope it happens. I hope the reunion is a thing because I know fans really want it. And I know Justin did release an apology back when all the Free Britney documentaries and things came out for how he, represented her and, you know, incorporated her into Crimea River and all of those things. But yeah, this is just still coming back to haunt him. So we shall see. The re-recordings just sound more full, better vocals, production and mixing. Vault songs are mostly about Harry, but great overall. A video is probably coming, and she's a billionaire as of today. Yes, we are going to get to that. This is great commentary. I know a lot of people seem to be disappointed that Harry isn't on Style. Um, People really thought that was going to be a surprise. One thing I learned about this album, and this says a lot about why Blank Space is like probably my favorite Taylor Swift song, to be honest. I don't know. I just like everything about it. It's a little unconventional, but this is the first album I want to say where she worked with Max Martin, who is responsible for I Want It That Way, It's Gonna Be Me, Teenage Dream. He's probably is he on Firework? Not sure if he's on Firework, but he's just a Swedish pop mogul. And it's no wonder that I love it because he's responsible for so many, Y2K pop hits. So, um, yeah, I think there's a unique strategy based on a marketing formula. For the last one, more merch, the concert, etc. For this one, it's more movie and merch promo. Interesting. Yeah, unique approach every time. First was Red. Okay, a little bit. Okay. Good to know. You are quite the Swiftie. I love it. We love Max Martin around here. The thing about Max Martin is he's so like elusive. Like you never see him. He's credited everywhere. But you never see him. I did hear that, on Blank Space when she makes like that little wink song when she's like, "All right, your name." Like Max Martin was in the studio with her and he was like, "Oh my God, that's so annoying. They're gonna love it," which I think is just hysterical and so true. It's catchy as heck. So we do think there's a unique strategy every time. I think you're right. I found this tweet as well. I should have credited this Twitter account that posted this. I want to say it was like Taylor Nostalgia, Taylor Throwbacks. And they showed some of the differences in the promo across Red, Speak Now, and 1989. Max Martin is the undercover Benny Blanco. You seem to be a diehard Swiftie. I'm giving you that credit. Have you seen the movie? Let me know. So with Red, my gosh, Red was such a big deal. It seems so long ago, 2 years ago now, but she did SNL. There was just all kinds of stuff. The Empire State Building got involved. They just kind of did like this nice little screen grab. But she also just did SNL, ahead of 1989, although she didn't specifically mention it. But I think her relationship with Travis Kelce is PR enough in of itself. Speak Now was a little quieter, I guess. Not a lot of like public appearances around Speak Now, I want to say. I think this is a screen grab from The Summer I Turned Pretty, potentially. I know her songs are featured in there a lot. No, haven't seen the movie yet and didn't go to the Eras tour, but have seen her twice in concert. Yeah, we've got to see the movie. I'm excited for it to come out at home. I did go see it in theaters, but it's just going to be way more fun to watch it at home, I think. Yeah. So also, as we mentioned, she's a billionaire as of today. So I am calling that Happy B Day for Taylor. Happy Billionaire Day. Taylor Swift has reached billionaire status thanks largely to the value of the masters she owns and her still running Eras tour. Bloomberg estimated her net worth is 1.1 billion. So I hope she is celebrating today. Clearly lots to celebrate. A new album is out. She's just on top of the world. I mean, I know people are talking about like Taylor Swift fatigue right now, but excuse me. But regardless, she's crushing it. Right? Yeah, I have no B days either. Let's see. What else do I have? I think we're shifting gears here. Okay, yes. So Skims came out with a men's line. Men's underwear, men's tees, men's tanks. And I have the names of all of these athletes in the pop chat question later today. I know this guy plays in the NBA. I can't remember his name. It's like hyphenated and kind of long. This is Nick Bosa, plays in the NFL. I don't know for what team. If anyone knows, please shout it out. And Neymar. Oh, thank you. He's a major league, Premier League. I don't know. I know he's a big deal in the soccer world. So yeah, Skims has launched this line. As I was doing research and making this slide, of course, this was the time that my husband happened to pass by me and saw my computer and was like, "What the heck?" But all good here. So yeah, thoughts on this? What I think is interesting is, Skims, they're no stranger to using athletes, not athletes, but using, uh, big names and celebrities in their campaigns and, coming out with menswear. Thank you. Okay. I knew it was a mouthful. Okay. Neymar is Neymar. Okay. Shai Gilgeous Alexander. What NBA team does he play for? See, you guys know everything here. San Fran. Okay. So this is interesting. These must be very topical players. I'm a little out of the loop on them. But what interests me about this, I think this was a good idea, but I also wonder if the people buying Skims for men will actually be women buying it for their significant others. Um, Yeah, I'm good with no name boxers and underwear. Yeah, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud, but my husband happily wears Costco underwear, and he's perfectly happy. It makes sense since I saw yesterday the logo on the court at the Lakers and Suns game. You saw the Skims logo at the Lakers and Suns game? That's cool. Interesting. Huh. Okay. SGA. Yes, that's what we're going to call him. Okay. He plays for the Thunder. Got it. Got it. I am caught up. So, yeah, do we think, I'm curious then, Chardel, more on your perspective on this as a male. Um, do you think this is going to perform well? Again, I think maybe it's the women that will be purchasing it. Um, but maybe there's just more to do from a marketing angle here. I also wonder if men are like, ugh, like I'm not buying from Kim Kardashian's Kim Kardashian's line. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It will be interesting to see. I think these big names help. Um, Maybe around the holidays though. I will say Skims is a brand. Once you try it, you don't want to try anything else. Like it's really that great. I almost exclusively buy from Skims now. So maybe this is what's going to happen. Maybe women will buy it for their significant others. They're going to try it over the holidays and think it's the best underwear they've ever worn, can't live without it. And then they will, they'll want more. They'll become repeat customers. Yeah, it's for my OnlyFans. Yes. It's for girlfriends and wives buying this for men. Most men don't care. Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. That's my prediction though. They'll be in a lot of stocking stuffers. And then maybe they'll get hooked beyond that. Let's see. What else do I have? Okay, lastly. Oh boy. Have we seen this? This poor girl. This poor 21-year-old girl. Okay, her name is Briella Saro. She took to TikTok to just openly vent and be vulnerable about her stress of working a 9 to 5. She works a 9 to 5. She has a pretty long commute. She has a commute home. By the time she gets home, the last thing she wants to do is cook. She's, ordering in, barely has energy to work out, barely has energy to do anything. And I empathize. I think that's a lot. And I think as a young person, probably this is her, first job in the real world, it's an adjustment. And I think it's okay that she took to TikTok to just vent about it and say, is this what it's always like? Is this okay? And to start a discussion. But oh my gosh, the feedback and the response was so split. Some people were empathizing with her and saying, no, you're right. Like, our working conditions are not ideal and could be better. And some were like, girl, stop crying on TikTok. Like, it's a job. Like, that's what it's supposed to be like. You're just complaining. You're young and entitled, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know. I was curious of what your thoughts are on the 9 to 5. Any thoughts on, you know, do we need to change it? A Monday, a 9 to 4, or no, not a 9 to 4, but a Monday through Thursday, 4-day work week. Sounds really attractive. Hey, Jared, Zoomers. Yeah. Jared, I know you're not 21, but as someone a little younger, I'm curious your perspective on this and if you empathize with her. Um, what I particularly don't appreciate, it's not so much as what she's saying, but just like the response, how she's getting dragged for it. And people will say, "Oh, well, she made the video. She knew what she was doing." But I think this is intense. Like, she's in Rolling Stone for this. Like, give her a break. Ian Carr had the best take on this. Because of the pandemic, many Gen Z have yet to experience commute times, time to self, etc. The transition post-college is hard for everyone, from living close by with your friends to an apartment or house and work taking the majority of your time. Yeah, that's true. Think about it. This girl probably did graduate in 2020. She's 21. Her graduation got messed up. 9 to 5 is so outdated. Yeah, I wish 9 to 5 is outdated because, like I said here in my tweet, it's really not a 9 to 5. It's more like an 8 to 6. It's more like an 8 to 6, which is even more outdated. It makes a 9 to 5 sound nice. But yeah, I don't know. I think I want it to be better. I think the job is the problem, not the time in particular. If she hates her job, any time will exhaust her. That's a good thought. I know she did clarify. She didn't say one bad thing about her job, which I was kind of happy to see, because one of my other thoughts was like, oh no, is this girl going to get fired for this? But she didn't bash her employer. She just kind of spoke to, the stress of having those long hours, having a commute, getting home, being exhausted. I think she takes a train. She must work in the city or something. So we'll see. I don't know if this is the attention she thought she would get, but yeah. When I'm looking for jobs, I'm also looking at apartments because of commutes. Yeah. Yeah. So, Jared, you are open to an in-person job, because I think that's another thing with Gen Z. You know, I'm not sure what they prefer. You're right, Charlotte. Like, they were always alone. They were always at home. Maybe they are preferring to go into the office, but they're surprised to see just how long and how hectic it is when you bring in the commute. The idea of a 9 to 5 is a foreign concept to many Gen Zers, and thus she's struggling for why this exists in the first place. Yeah. And I think she's entitled to her opinion. Like, why, let her vent. Like, we all haven't had a bad day. you know? So, all right, speaking of Gen Z, I have one more topic to discuss. It is a little saucy. The only difference is Gen Z complains on TikTok, while older generations complain to their parents or friends or around a water cooler. I'm not this old though. I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, millennials were complaining about this as well, but we weren't having it amplified like this. And now that millennials are older and we're seeing Gen Z complain about it, we're like, "Oh, suck it up." And I don't think that's nice. Cindy, her take is relatable. I burned myself out in my 20s commuting several hours a day on top of a full-time, more than 9 to 5 job in SV. SV. San, where's SV? Why is that? Please clarify. But yeah, burnout is real. Thank you for joining, Cindy. Happy you're here. Yeah, so, and I'm curious, I see a lot of people here from LinkedIn. I was especially interested to see the LinkedIn crowd's take on work culture like this. Jared, yeah, absolutely in person. I haven't worked an in-person job in 3 years. Okay, so oh, Silicon Valley, okay. So you're craving to can you tell I'm an East Coaster? So you're craving to go in person. Interesting. That's good. That is good. All right. Thank you for clarifying, folks. But yeah, that'll burn you out for sure. Yeah. I know. I am just in my little bubble over here, you know. I also heard it's dorky to call it San Fran, that if you're in San Fran and you call it San Fran, you're automatically considered a tourist. So, I do know that much. I'm used to working 2 to 10 PM jobs. Okay. Yeah, because Jared, I mean, you've worked in sports and stuff, so that's a little different. I did see another tweet this week that was all about just how sports jobs and being at every game and missing every weekend with your family and all these things aren't worth it. It's interesting. I think you're right, Chartle, that we've all kind of felt these things, but now people are being more vocal about them and it's shining a light on them. And just opening it up for discussion. Call it Sandy Franny to be a local. Okay, thank you for the tip. That is good to know. All right, we've got 2 minutes before Pop Chat. There's one more Gen Z topic I want to discuss. And Jared, as someone who's into streaming, did you see this? That there was a study at UCLA with teens and Gen Zers, and they said that they want to see less sex and romantic relationships depicted in TV and movies. They want more friendship storylines, also known as a nomance. Um, they're just like over it, which I don't know. I wonder if that's just because, I don't know, they're teenagers and maybe they're still watching. I was still watching cartoons occasionally as a teenager, and I didn't feel like I needed, romantic storylines to be to be entertained. But maybe this will change as they get older. I don't know. Okay, more California tips. Oakland is also Oakeyland, and everything south of Sandy Franny is South Bay, regardless of what people tell you. I appreciate these tips. Thank you. What about Santa Barbara? Santa Barbara has my heart, and I want to feel like a Santa Barbara cool person when I go there. So, any insight on that? Yeah, Netflix in particular. I feel like Netflix, it's like really in your face. So maybe that's what it is. I feel like as millennials, it wasn't like sex wasn't in our faces all the time. It might have been part of things, but we didn't have shows called like Sex Lives of College Girls and what's the other one? There's a Netflix one. Um that's sex something. They're like, we didn't have stuff like in the title, maybe Sex in the City. um, but that wasn't even really for millennials, I don't think. Someone misspelled nomance as a nomance and basically said she wants more girl representation or just female representation. Honestly, yes. That also was like part of the elaboration in the study. It's just like more, variety of types of relationships. But nomance, that's funny. Yeah, maybe that's exactly what she meant. All right, folks, I've got to jump to Pop Chat on Twitter. Hope to see you there. We've got a giveaway from our friends at Pattern. So join, answer all the questions for a chance to win. Thank you so much for joining over here. I always have fun with these. So go ahead, follow me on Twitter. Check out Making the Brand. We've got a new season on the way. And I'll see you on Twitter in like 30 seconds. Yeah, Netflix is all sex. It's basically HBO at this point. Right? So, all right. Thank you all. Thanks, Chardol, Jared, Cindy, Petronella, everyone who joined, and I'll see you on Twitter. Bye.